Game one of this series, game one of this 10-game homestand. Astros glad to be back here in their home ballpark, and they've been showing off a very dynamic offense here lately, getting it done in many different ways offensively. Of course, the impact players, the guys who get all the attention, are stabilized right now, and that means the rest of the team has really responded, and they're starting to feel pretty good too. They're going to need that in order to keep this style of play up over the next 83 games. A couple of guys who really struggled out of the gate have gotten it going, and it's really helped the club out in a big way, including Luis Valbuena. Luis on the road trip, having a nice road trip, 368 there. The slugging was there for Luis as he's hitting the homers, starting to hit those homers late in the season, but they are starting to come, which is good for him. He's much more disciplined there. And then Carlos Gomez, the numbers were pretty tough earlier in the year, but he has been fighting his way back. You see his road trip was pretty good too. He had contacts in the mix. He's seen the breaking ball a little bit better. A lot of things happening with Carlos Gomez, but it's all working for both of these players. And you see the numbers, the difference in these guys since May 31st. We talked so much about this club playing better from May 24th on, but it coincides with what these guys are doing. Gomez, the batting average, up 100 points, up to 282 since May 31st, so he's swinging it well. Also, Luis Valbuena, 313 since May 31st. The slugging percentage for him that I mentioned earlier, 542, so much, much better for these guys, which helps that lineup up and down, getting some production all the way around. It's really helped this club be a more confident club, a more consistent club, and they hope to carry that tonight into a game where they'll face Miguel Gonzalez and the White Sox. It's all coming up. Astros and White Sox right here on Root Sports. Settle in. It's the beginning of a long homestand, and we'll have it all for you right here. Stay with us.
Is brought to you by Jack in the Box. The Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack is back. Taste it before it's gone at Jack in the Box. And by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing too high. Orbit is ready for a 10-game homestand, and the Astros will take on the first of three opponents. The Chicago White Sox in for the weekend. Next week it will be Seattle and Oakland. The Astros back at Minute Maid Park, where they're now 22-15 for the season. They have won 25 of their last 34 games to get to 42-37 for the season. Mike Fiers taking the mound tonight. The Astros won 2 of 3 in Chicago, and now they meet the White Sox in their second and final series of the year. The White Sox going with shortstop Tim Anderson leading off, Adam Eaton in right field, Jose Abreu at first base, Todd Frazier the DH, Brett Lawrie at second, Alex Avila the catcher, Avisail Garcia in left field, Tyler Saladino at third base, J.B. Shuck, the former Astro, in center field, and their pitcher will be right-hander Miguel Gonzalez. There's Frazier, who's tied for the league home run lead with 23 bombs this season.
On the mound for the Astros tonight with that assignment to win game 1 of this series, Mike Fiers. And he has been successful. The Astros have certainly been successful in recent starts. 4-1 over the month of June with Mike on the hill. Didn't pick up a win his last time out. Came an out shy of being able to get there. But 5-3 on the year. At home, he's been 4-2 this year and a nice 3.30-ish ERA. So enjoys pitching in this ballpark.
And it'll be Tim Anderson leading it off. Anderson has really been quite a good player for the White Sox in his rookie season, hitting .314. And he has a .512 slugging percentage. Very good bat speed for this young 23-year-old shortstop. He takes, and there's ball 1 for Mike Fiers. Anderson, a first-round pick in 2013, is from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. .314, 3 homers, 5 runs batted in for Tim Anderson. He's late on the heater, and it's 1-1 for Anderson, who was not with the White Sox when the Astros played in Chicago. Their shortstop with Jimmy Rollins at that point. Rollins was released, and Anderson has taken over at that position after playing at Birmingham last year. He lines one. Altuve snags it about knee high. A hard hit out, number 1.
It doesn't hurt when you're catching some breaks. Line drive to start things for the first out. And it feels like the Astros have been earning some breaks in recent times.
Now one of the best defensive outfielders, Adam Eaton, hitting .274 with 4 homers, 26 runs batted in, and he's hit lefties extremely well. Eaton had 5 hits in the 3 games when the Astros were at U.S. Cellular Field in May. Fastball has some hop at 89, but you know, the velocity doesn't really tell the story on Mike Fiers. He can be tough for that hitter to pick up.
He is one of those rare right-handers, pitchers in general, who right over the top doesn't get to 90 very often, and yet has that swing under fastball.
He gets a jam shot here. Balbuena back behind third base with the catch and foul ground, 2 outs. And you talked about being just a couple of outs short of qualifying for that win at Kansas City. It had to be disappointing for Mike because he had the big 9-3 lead at the time. He went 4 1/3. He gave up 9 hits and 3 runs, and the Astros won at 13-5. Ash,
I think those are challenging when the skip is forced to come out and get you, and I think A.J. Hinch felt that way at that time. You know, you've come up a little shy, but every starting pitcher wants that opportunity to pick up the W when it's presented.
now the big 29-year-old Cuban slugger, Jose Abreu, with 11 homers, 48 runs batted in. Fouls it for strike 1. Abreu's done nothing but light it up in the home run department since he came to the Chicago White Sox as a free agent. Hit 36 homers in his first major league season of 2014, and then 30 more last year. He was Rookie of the Year unanimously in 2014.
I'm not so sure he shouldn't have been MVP that year.
He looks at a strike. 0-2. Yeah, he was solid. He hit .317. He was an all-star. He drove in 107 runs, won a Silver Slugger. Quite a first year in the majors. Fiers has no decisions in his 2 career starts against the White Sox, but a good ERA of 1.32 in those 2. The curveball misses 1 and 2. The curve has been in the past. That is a pitch that can really elevate him to a higher plateau, but this year it has not consistently been there for Mike.
He's got that delivery that creates deception in the heater, but also difficulty repeating that delivery.
That curve works for a foul ball, and for Mike, the curveball, as he mixes it in with a fastball, split finger, the cutter, and the slider, it gives him that 5-pitch mix, and he can be unpredictable at times, Ash.
Even when he's predictable, which to me is a lot of fastballs up in the zone, he's tough to get to.
Another curve, another foul ball. The White Sox are coming off a 4-2 homestand against Toronto and Minnesota. They won an exciting game in their final at bat yesterday afternoon. Robin Ventura's in his 5th year as their skipper. Rick Renteria there, the bench coach, on the other side of him. 10th overall pick in the 1988 draft. Had quite a career as a major league third baseman. That's to right field. George Springer. 1-2-3 in the first for Mike Fiers. Gonzalez to the mound in just a moment. Lineup is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Miguel Gonzalez for the White Sox will be facing leadoff man George Springer in right field. Third baseman Luis Valbuena. Second baseman Jose Altuve, who hit .420 in the month of June. Carlos Correa at shortstop. Colby Rasmussen left field. Carlos Gomez center field. Marwin Gonzalez first base. A.J. Reed DH. Jason Castro catcher.
And on the mound, Bronny mentioned him. 32-year-old right-hander Miguel Gonzalez out of Jalisco, Mexico. 5th year now in the major leagues. He had his first 4 with the Baltimore Orioles, making his 11th start with the White Sox. He's a guy that gives up about 10 hits per 9 innings. Now make that let's bring that down. Yes, 10 hits per 9 innings. Also walks about 4 in that same frame. So a lot of base runners against him.
George Springer hopes to be the first base runner against Gonzalez tonight. He taps that one foul. There's strike one on Springer, a .259 hitter with 17 homers, 48 runs batted in. And he's 4 for 9 with 2 homers against Miguel. Miguel is with his 4th organization. He signed with the Angels in '04. He was a Rule 5 pick with Boston after the '08 season. Baltimore picked him up as a free agent and released him this spring. That's when the White Sox came calling. Anderson to his left with a smooth play for out number 1.
Young kid at shortstop is yet to make an error out there for the White Sox.
Has a strong arm, and he could be the guy for a long time to come. That's what the White Sox are hoping anyway. And they have been a very good fielding team, as have the Astros this year. Luis Valbuena has some potential thunder in that number 2 spot in the lineup, as Julia has detailed. .259 for the season. 9 homers, 27 runs batted in after a .316 month of June for Luis. He went 7 for 19 on the road trip with a homer and 5 runs batted in. Fouls that one away for strike one. What a road trip it was for the Astros, going 5-1. And they scored more runs than they have in their history for a 6-game road trip.
They're the only club to have gone into Kansas City this year and taken the Royals back-to-back. 13 runs in each of the first 2 games.
Infield is shifted around as always for Valbuena. Good pitch, and with that location under the hands, that makes it 0-2 for Gonzalez. And there's how he has tuned it up to .316 from a .183 month of April. A strikeout for Gonzalez, 2 down. Our Ford spray chart will show you an amazing story for the month of June. Jose Altuve, how do you get him out? Look at all the red. Not much of a blue zone there below Major League average, just a tiny portion. You see where the hits have gone. The singles have been sprayed all over. 1 triple down the right field line. Homers all over the park as well. 11-game hitting streak for Jose Altuve, the best average at .357 in the majors, and it's ball 1. And 39 walks, 32 strikeouts for the year for Jose. He leads the American League in hits with 111.
Leads all of the major leagues with that figure and the batting average. And legit talk. It's early in the year. It's not quite to the halfway point, but legit talk now when you talk about who's the MVP in the American League. Jose Altuve's name comes up, and rightly so.
Those numbers would indicate he should be there.
Keep honing those tools.
Yeah, keep working on it. He fouls it back, and it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Astros offense has improved so much. The month of June was a fantastic offensive month for this team, averaging 5.19 runs per game. Altuve hit .500 on the road trip.
They got him out that many times, huh?
I mean, yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? You and Blummer and Julia are probably surprised he only hit .500.
Yeah. Felt like about 750 to me.
Yeah. In tight for a ball. And it's 2-2. Astros 1-2 of 3 when they were in Chicago in May. Look at those numbers. 398 on the road. Helped a little bit by that .500 road trip. Anderson gets a 2-hopper. And it's a quick first for Gonzalez as well. No score after 1.
Treat your employees, host clients, or celebrate a special occasion with an Astros luxury suite. Create an experience your group is sure to remember by calling 1-877-9-ASTROS and reserving your luxury suite today. Mike Fiers gets back to work here in the second, and the starting pitching maybe a little bit different than you're used to. A.J. Hinch using yesterday's off day to reset everybody, maybe put people up against teams he feels like are the best. Now, he's also talking about that off day before this 10-game homestand that the players were looking forward to coming home, including that All-Star break, which means a 2-week stretch. They get to sit at home, maybe settle in a little bit and just get comfortable in their surroundings, play some baseball, and play the good baseball that they've been playing lately. This is an important homestand for this team to carry on what they've been doing, guys, especially on that road trip. But really the last 2 months, continue to play the baseball that they've been playing get some more wins under the belt before that All-Star break gets here, because we all know everything resets a little bit around that time.
Yes, it does. There's strike one to Todd Frazier, who has 23 homers to tie him for the major league lead. So A.J. Hinch hoping things continue to roll the way they have been. That last homestand went well to the tune of 5-1, then a 5-1 road trip. Foul ball comes back and it snowballs 2 strikes, but each day will bring its own challenges. Since May 1st, the Cleveland Indians are 39-19, Rangers are 37-19, the Astros are 35-20.
Pretty tough when the Rangers happen to be in your own division playing ball like that, but the Astros keep taking care of business. They'll find a way into the postseason.
Brett Lawrie's on deck. Upstairs to Frazier and knocks him back, and it's 1-2. Frazier's a good third baseman, but he's DHing tonight with those interesting numbers, because the 23 homers of course gets your attention, but it's a .203 batting average. Sox have never had a player lead the majors in homers. In the dirt. He's on a pace to hit 47. That would be too shy of Albert Bell's club record set in 1998. Frazier last year hit 35 homers for Cincinnati, and then he came over in that trade, a 3-team deal involving the Dodgers as well. He rips that one just to the left of second base and becomes the first base runner tonight.
Yeah, that was a scald rod right there. Take a look now at our MD Anderson strike zone as we look at this pitch to Frazier. Fastball just kind of right up there in a nice extend your arm zone. Frazier hasn't made a lot of contact this year, but when he has, he hits it hard.
He's on for Brett Lawrie. Lawrie, the second baseman, with 11 homers, 31 runs batted in, and a .248 average. He's from British Columbia and began his career with Milwaukee, but then he was traded to Toronto and then moved along to Oakland. Big cut there. That was quite a game in Toronto today. The Indians beat the Blue Jays 2-1 in 19 innings on Canada Day. And the losing pitcher was a position player, Darwin Barney. He was the second position player to pitch in that game for Toronto. It's 1-1. It's interesting to watch Frazier dancing off first base. He will sneak a steal every now and then. He's 6 for 8. White Sox do not do much running. They have 36 stolen bases this year. And the throw goes over. He did attract some attention.
Yeah, it's not a team that's loaded with speed. They got off to a real nice start this year. Had some great starting pitching. But things have caught up, though. They're playing a game over 500.
They were 23-10 through May 9th. Since then, they're 17-29. So these two teams have gone about their business in opposite directions. The Astros, as you know, were 7-17 in April. Since then, they have really effected quite a turnaround. They were 17-12 in May and just finished 18-8 in June. The Astros have won 10 of their last 11. Foul back. 1-2. Both these teams pitched well against each other in that series at U.S. Cellular. That was the first road series win for the Astros this year. They won the first 2 games in mid-May. They ran up against Chris Sale in game 3 and lost that one 2-1. So the 18-8 in June, the most wins in a month for the Astros since the 1989 season, when they were 18-10 that June. Time called. Now we talk all the time, Ash, about that 22 inning game. That's the month of the 22 inning game, June of 1989. So they not only had some endurance, but they made that an entirely fine month. But 18-8. That speaks well for this club too.
Oh, does it ever? You couple the last 2 months with that beginning month of the year, 7-17 for the Astros. It's been an amazing turnaround, and it has stretched now, as those 2 months would indicate, for that lengthy period.
Starting pitching has really had a whole lot to do with what's happening for this Houston club in the last 2 months. In the dirt, good block there.
That was pretty. Very quiet and on it early for Jason Castro.
Yeah, he had to move his feet early, didn't he, to get in that position to tilt the chest forward.
It's that commitment that says, I called a curveball here and this could happen. And so you just completely prepared.
Important to keep the double play in order here, and the count's 2-2 on Laurie. Bouncer, backhanded, Valbuena, long throw, Altuve, one hop, not in time. Altuve was under some pressure from Frazier there after the long throw from Valbuena, and they get out number one.
Yeah, it's one of those plays that sets up and already says your second baseman is going to be in a bind. And, you know, Marwin on that first base side just continues to do a very nice job.
That throw took Altuve right into the sliding runner, Frazier. Alex Avila now the catcher with a .237 average, 3 homers, 6 runs batted in. He spent some time on the disabled list with an injured right hamstring earlier this year. Alex, 29 years old. He's hit .288 in his last 17 games. Diarno Navarro is the other catcher for the White Sox. Avila takes ball 1. Avila had been with Detroit, where his father Al is the general manager. Now, technically, and Al I think prefers his last name to be pronounced Avila. Alex really doesn't care, so they're calling him Avila in Chicago.
Let's ask Craig Biggio how we deal with that sort of situation. His family being the Biggios, and
yeah. Well, you know, different families have family members who pronounce their names different ways, right?
You are correct, Mr. Brown.
2 balls, no strikes. It can get confusing. And there was a batting champion in Cleveland back in the 50s, Bobby Avila. But I've heard a story about one Cleveland broadcaster who insisted on pronouncing it Avila, and the other Cleveland broadcasters pronounced it Avila.
You know, and here's the deal, and you run into these guys. What you have to do is you have to talk to that player and find out what their notion is. Other broadcasters give you great insight, and you know, generally speaking, we get the word as to how that guy wants his name pronounced.
What we're hearing is that Alex says he doesn't care. Pop back out of play. 2 balls and a strike.
Well, Alex was an all-star catcher with the Tigers, and he was Alex Avila, as far as we all knew.
That was quite a year. 2011, 19 homers, 82 runs batted in. And he went to 3 straight playoffs with that Detroit club from 11 through 13. He ran into some concussion problems in 2014. He had 3 concussions that year. Carlos Gomez is moving to his left. Rolled over and foul, first base side. Marwin Gonzalez took it away from Darryl Boston, the first base coach of the White Sox.
Will not have you being a good guy on my watch.
Snatched it right out of his hands. Marwin getting the call at first base tonight. He was in left field in Anaheim. He is Mr. Everywhere.
And he's been Mr. Very Good everywhere.
He's another guy who really stepped it up in June. Foul tip strikeout. Castro holds on for strikeout number 1.
There's the changeup I've been looking for that can be so effective, especially against the lefties. Take a look now at our strike zone once again. Very well spotted, even though in the heart of the plate, right down there at the bottom of the knees. A little bit of dive action. There we go. A look at our Super Mo presented by Mattress Firm. Beautiful look from the side. It's left Avila out in front.
Mike Fiers in a 0-0 game faces Avisail Garcia playing left field tonight. Melky Cabrera, normally the left fielder for the White Sox, a very good player, has had a sprained wrist. He has missed the last 2 games and he might miss this whole weekend, we're being told. So Garcia is 25, gets the shot in left. Native of Venezuela. Laurie is a pretty decent lead. That's ripped a long way to left field, way over the head of Colby Rasmus. That's high off the wall. Colby plays it perfectly, gets it into Carlos Correa, and it's a double. But no run scored on the quick retrieval by Rasmus in left. Laurie cannot come home.
Yeah, and you nail it with that quick retrieval comment, because it wasn't the best of throws from Colby. Kind of short hop Carlos Correa, who didn't come up with it cleanly, but with that ball coming back in quickly as Colby got it coming this way, that really forced the hand of the third base coach and just leaves you unable to send him in. Maybe we'll get a peek right here, but Colby just does a terrific job time and time again getting the ball back in quickly and usually accurately.
That ball was really drilled for Garcia's 8th double of the year. Missed a home run by about 2 feet, it appeared. Tyler Saladino's the batter. Fiers deals ball 1. The batting average against Fiers' fastball this year is .391.
That would say to me that there is either some loss of velocity, and I don't know how much there is, maybe a mile an hour or so, or the deception's not quite the same for Mike.
1-1 to Saladino.
It's hard to be told, let's establish the fastball when they're hitting nearly 400 against it.
The Astros have the lowest average fastball velocity in the majors, 90.2, proving it is not necessary to throw hard to get outs. Out into shallow center field. Altuve giving way to Carlos Gomez. Out of trouble. Fiers does not give up a run. 2 hits, 2 men left in scoring position, and he's been great in those situations. No score. On this road trip for the Astros, Carlos Correa, he just keeps coming through late in games. He hit .333, 2 homers, 9 runs batted in that 6-game trip, and out of that cleanup spot, he is doing some damage, Ash.
That damage for me mostly includes the extra base hits and the RBIs. And in big situations, he seems to now have the sense that as the cleanup man on this club, he is there to drive in big runs.
And he's driven in 49 this year. Miguel Gonzalez going to work on the Astros cleanup man here in the home second. He takes, and there's strike one. The home plate umpire Jordan Baker rings it up. Correa with 13 homers has a .268 batting average. .303 in June with 22 runs batted in. Player of the week last week in the American League, youngest in club history. That one jammed him, and it's no balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, you start being that guy that drives in 20 runs a month, you're going to have yourself a pretty solid season.
I didn't think there's no way he's going to go 2 on that. Wow. Hey, they keep doing that today. We're going to host.
Correa leads American League shortstops in walks. He's second in runs batted in, second in homers, second in on-base average. He takes, and it's 1-2.
It's a good take. Pretty tough looking splitter.
Yeah, it was. That's been a nice pitch for him. .236 batting average against the splitter of Miguel Gonzalez, who's from Mexico. Born in Guadalajara. That's deep to right field. Eaton underneath. 1 out. A hanger.
Yeah, there's not an overpowering fastball, and Correa just misses getting to this. But you can see the wrath in that swing. He really lets it fly through the baseball.
Gonzalez has kept the ball in the park pretty well. He's allowed 6 homers in 56 2/3 innings. Colby Rasmus has gone deep 10 times. He's driven in 39 this season. Got that little wiggle in the right hip. Strike 1 to Colby.
You like the way he moves, don't you?
Yeah. I like to watch different hitting techniques, Ash.
That's part of the keen eye you have.
Well, you and Blummer talk about hands and torque and all these things. And the non-hitters can only listen.
Exactly.
Try to absorb it.
It's always about torque.
No balls, 2 strikes. Now into protect mode. Colby has thrown 33 walks this season. Tries to get on here. He is 2 for 16 in his career against this pitcher. 476 on the road trip for Colby. In tight.
When the Astros have things going on offensively, Colby tends to be hanging around, doesn't he?
Yeah. He can do some damage. And in the last 22 games, he's done exactly that, as you can tell from those numbers. A liner to left field. Garcia with a catch. 2 outs.
2016 Coca-Cola Astros Buddies memberships are on sale right now for only $25. Buddies members get a voucher for 4 tickets to an Astros game, VIP access to Kids Run the Bases, exclusive autograph sessions, and more. Memberships for kids up to 12 years of age are available by visiting astros.com/buddies.
Yeah, why not join up? Summer is just beginning. It's a great program. Carlos Gomez had a very good month of June. Takes a breaking pitch. There's strike 1. 226 for the season. 3 homers, 18 runs batted in. But in June, he had a .362 on base average, .452 slugging percentage, and he's hit .303 his last 21. One and one. Miguel Gonzalez has had 7 outings on the road but has no decisions. However, his ERA is a respectable 3.60. One and two. It was a low-scoring series in Chicago between these two. The Astros scored 12 runs in the 3 games, and the White Sox scored 10. Started, he checked his swing. The appeal went down to the first base umpire, Tim Timmons. It's 2-2.
Well, part of that low scoring for the Astros was, excuse me, Chris Sale. I think going to about 8-0, 9-0 early on in the season.
Yeah.
Just great stuff.
We'll be seeing him this weekend, Mr. Ashby.
Well, it's anybody who loves watching great pitching might enjoy that.
He goes tomorrow against Doug Fister in a 3-10 start. Liner to left. Garcia back with that catch on a hard hit ball, and there have been some stinging outs in this one, but 6 straight have been retired by Gonzalez. No score after 2.
The third, and it's the beginning of a 10-game homestand. I'm with Christy Felice right now, Director of Promotions, who has all the good news about what's coming up for the Astros, including it's starting tomorrow. You guys have a lot of things planned, don't you?
And it actually started tonight. We just finished up with a great Baseball on Tap event presented by Budweiser, which I highly recommend anyone that didn't see that this year to come back next year for it. It was a great time. And tomorrow we have our Carlos Correa 2015 Rookie of the Year bobblehead. It's the second of 3 in our award series this year, presented by Coca-Cola. Really just showing off his stats and awards that garnered him that Rookie of the Year status. And then we already have done the Keuchel one. Altuve's Gold Glove and Silver Slugger one will come August 27th. But make sure you get here early tomorrow night for the Carlos Correa Rookie of the Year bobble.
I can imagine that's pretty popular. So she means business when she says get here early. Also, though, July 4th is coming up. What do you guys have planned for that?
4th of July is also Military Appreciation Day presented by Whataburger. The first 10,000 fans that get here will have one of these patriotic t-shirts presented by Cutter, actually. Really excited about our 4th of July celebration this year. We're bringing out our giant flag as we always do, and new this year we'll have a flag representing each branch of the military, and we'll have uniformed military personnel out on the field carrying those flags. We'll have military personnel throwing a first pitch, singing the anthem and God Bless America. And then we're really excited to bring out U.S. Olympian Simone Biles. Will be here on Monday, so we can bid her good luck and farewell before she heads off to Rio.
Kind of excited and probably going to be a fan of Simone. But show that one more time before we let you go. There's the shirt. Lots of things coming up on this homestand, guys. I know you guys want a shirt. Thank you so much, Christy. I'm going to send it up to you, boys in the booth.
Good looking shirt. Thank you, Christy and Julia. There is strike 1 to Tim Anderson after that hot shot JB Shuck hit to Marwin Gonzalez for out number 1. Some hard hit outs in this game, Ash.
Stinging it. Ball's hit in the air. Maybe Mike Fiers fortunate that not trailing that double by Garcia, right of the Crawford boxes and just under the yellow line.
Foul away, and it's 1-2. Mike Fiers 4-2 here at home with a 3.23 ERA. And in his career, he's 5-2 with a 2.66 at Minute Maid Park in 12 starts since joining the Astros.
Home of the no-no.
What a special night that was with the Dodgers in town last August. He gets a strikeout of Anderson, number 2.
The Dodgers came in with some vaunted pitching for that series, and it turned out to be all Houston.
There's another K. Bud Norris is now a Dodger.
Might be picking it up for Clayton Kershaw for a couple of weeks. Can he stay, I guess, would be the question.
Anderson chases that high heat. 2 down, and it's Eaton. Adam fouled out to third. That's strike 1. These two teams are close together in the wild card picture. The Astros a half game out. White Sox 2.5 games out of a wild card spot. This play began today. White Sox 1 over 500. 1-1.
Well, you bring up those Dodgers. That makes you have to think of the West with the Giants, and another even year out there. The Giants playing great ball for Bruce Bochy.
So good they don't need a DH.
Yeah, apparently not when they've got Bumgarner in the lineup. In fact, I'm surprised he's not the DH when he's not pitching.
Well, there's been talk that he wants to participate in the home run derby at the All-Star game.
I think he might go in as the favorite.
He might. Ground ball wide of first base. 2-2. That's the first time since 1976, though, that a pitcher has hit instead of a manager using a DH. Isn't that amazing?
It's probably not a big booster of morale on the bench, is it?
Not so much. Foul tip strikeout. That's 2 in a row. 3 for the game for Fiers. No score.
Between the White Sox and the Astros. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices with MLB.TV Premium, which includes a free subscription to At-Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. We'll see A.J. Reed making his home debut here in just a second. He's due up second in this inning, and he's still looking for that first big league knock. A.J. Hinch would like to see him get the knock, I'm sure, just like A.J. would like to get that first hit out of the way, maybe ease some of the pressure or stress that might be building on him. But he's learning a lot in these first few games in the first 2 series for sure. He's getting a lot of off speed, and they're messing with his timing. So he's trying to make subtle adjustments and hopefully has better luck against Miguel Gonzalez here today, guys.
Thanks, Julia. Here's Marwin Gonzalez against Miguel Gonzalez, taking ball one. Marwin at 256 has 6 homers, 21 runs batted in. It's been a very good stretch of baseball for him. He's been playing every day. He's played 22 games in a row now, starting 19 of those. This is his 14th start over that stretch at first base. Lifts this one, and the shortstop, Tim Anderson, goes out into shallow left field. And Anderson takes care of out number 1. That's 7 straight retired by Gonzalez. Let's check other Astros to see how they started their careers. Jeff Bagwell in 91, 1 for 14. Lance Berkman in 99, 2 for 20. Craig Biggio in 88, 2 for 20 to start their major league careers.
So what do you learn in that span? That life's really tough as a hitter in the bigs? It's not going to come easy.
He is 0 for 15 to start his big league career. He does have an RBI. He has scored a couple runs, but he does not have that first knock. He's drawn a couple walks. In the air as the infield is shifted around. That one goes foul, out of play for strike 1.
It's a good looking swing right there. He was well timed. He's had a number of swings that hasn't been the case.
It's 1-1. Julia said off speed. There was off speed. Julia talked with AJ's wife and his family there in Kansas City as he made his debut. All that anticipation, of course, with the family coming in from Indiana. That puts a little pressure on a guy. He rips that one foul. We don't know if he has any family here tonight or not. 1-2.
You know, that's an intriguing comment you make, Ronnie, because when you're struggling, it may be pressure. When you're doing really well, it's the comforts of having the family there. Getting some better swings, though.
He clocked that one hard to the right. And fouls it back.
Blessed with a nice short stroke. And in the long run, that ought to serve him very well.
He hit 266 this season at Fresno. Got a 345 on base average. Drew 28 walks there. Jason Castro's on deck. Foul tip, strikeout. 2 outs, strikeout number 2.
You grow up, you go through the minor leagues, you swing the bat well, and then you come to the big leagues and you find out that it's just a big notch better. And it's about making that adjustment and doing it quickly.
8 straight set down by Miguel Gonzalez. Now Jason Castro tries to break that string. 214, 6 homers, 21 runs batted in, and he has had a 4 for 12 performance in his career against this right-hander, including a homer, 4 runs batted in for Jason. Ball 1. Gonzalez has pitched some really good games against the Astros. He had a no-hitter through 5 against them in 2014. Wound up losing that game 2-1, giving up 2 runs in 6 2/3 innings. Bouncer. Abreu tossing. And that's 9 straight retired by Miguel Gonzalez. No score through 3.
is presented by authority of Houston Astros, LLC, and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Houston Astros, LLC.
Well, teaming night here. The White Sox and Astros, 0-0. No action as far as the runs part of the scoreboard. The White Sox have had a couple of hits. Those both came in the second inning. So action among the folks stirring around, waiting for something to happen here. We'll see if Mike Fiers can continue in this duel with Miguel Gonzalez as we go through the fourth. With Jose Abreu batting, he hit a fly ball to right earlier. And there's strike one.
What do you mean waiting for something to happen? Good pitching is happening.
Good point on that, because people generally associate the action with running the bases, getting hits. But yeah, there's something happening on every pitch, especially in a game like this.
I grew up out in LA where the really big night was a 1-0 victory with Koufax on the hill.
1-1. Yeah, that was the era of small ball at its best, right?
Get Bob Gibson or Juan Marichal to come into town and you'd play like the Indians and Blue Jays did tonight.
Curve ball, and that's a fair ball into the left field corner. Abreu running hard towards second base. Now he'll ease up a little bit. He has an easy double. His 17th of the year.
Got a curveball. It's not that fastball that's been hit at such a high rate this year, but if you can wait back on that curveball from Mike Fiers, he'll leave a lot of those right through the heart of the plate. But it's not that easy to wait.
Todd Frazier had a hard hit single into left center field leading off the second inning. Fiers has thrown strike one to 9 of 13 batters. First pitch curve works for strike one on Frazier.
You know, you can't get me through a ball game these days without talking about BABIP.
Oh, you love BABIP.
Batting average with balls in play. Todd Frazier is BABIPing at 186 this year.
Ooh. On the curve he chases, and it's 0-2. 186.
180. Well, of course that was before his first at bat base hit, so I don't want to shortchange him, but that would say that the contact has not been fast and furious, and yet when he's made contact, well, it's been vicious.
Thirteen of his home runs have tied or given the Sox the lead this year, though. Another curve in the dirt. This time he's not chasing. 1-2 on Frazier.
Apparently Frazier is quite a presence on this team. They feel like he's that true veteran that comes in and lifts everybody to play the right kind of baseball. Plays a good third base, though the folks that do the D WAR don't really like what he's been doing. That's a dicey stat for me.
He fouls it away. Well, it's Frazier and Mark Trumbo tied for the major league lead with 23 homers. And this figure of 23 is the most by a White Sox third baseman in the first half of the season. Bill Melton in 1971 and Dick Allen in 72 and 74 are the only players in White Sox history to lead the American League in homers. I mentioned earlier the White Sox have never had a player lead the majors in homers. Liner out to left field. Colby Rasmus, another hard hit out.
Tonight's home field advantage is presented by Lowe's. Let's see what that home field advantage looks like for Mike Fiers. 12 home starts versus 11 on the road, and the numbers much better at home for Mike. 5-2, 266. That 266 versus the 527 on the road, and the batting average by the opponents against. Well, you can see the difference. So Mike Fiers enjoying, at least in some part today, line drives being hit at outfielders.
Yeah, both these pitchers have had their outfielders stationed in some good spots so far. Brett Lawrie bounced into a force play. Curve, strike one.
As we've got, Brownie, some of our fans comparing a pitcher's duel to a dentist visit without anesthesia. So
on the other hand, so many people like a pitcher's duel because every base can be precious. He gets Lawrie to chase way up in his eyes on a heater, and it's 0-2. For instance, leadoff double now. Can they advance him to third? They don't without number one. Here we go. Billy Vidler.
he's a big fan of the dentist chair. I know that.
Yeah.
So the question, Frank Thomas never led the White Sox in home run, led the league in home runs.
Another line drive out. Caught by Valbuena. This is getting interesting.
See, that's what a pitcher's duel looks like right there. Yeah, keep hitting them at him, guys. The ball didn't seem to center up in the glove of Valbuena.
No. Now Castro goes out to talk it over.
Like a little bit of a pinball machine action in there.
What's the psyche of a pitcher on a night like this? Both these guys have given up line drive outs in this game. Is that
the psyche? Is I haven't made a bad pitch yet.
Okay.
It's amazing the number of times you can come back with a guy that gives up 12 line drives for outs and says, well, I only made one mistake tonight. That was when, you know, and I guess you see things through glasses, whether they're rose colored or whatever your favorite color might be, but it's not a bad thing.
Alex Avila. Altuve's out in right field. Curve for ball one.
Of course, then I see the other comment coming in that like the pitcher's duels a whole lot better in the years when they didn't take 3.5 hours to accomplish.
What those seats?
You'll get me jumping on that one. Yeah, those are great.
Leadoff double by Abreu, and he's been waiting. Frazier line to left, Lawrie line to third. Good block there. Castro had to move quickly to his right.
Jason getting in some good range activity here. Sometimes it's make it up time. When the ball bounces out in front of the plate, you're quickly sizing up how high is the bounce going to come, and it's not your standard blocking drill, but you try to get it done nonetheless.
Two balls and a strike on a half-hearted swing by Avila.
Got him on the changeup the first time. This time coming up the ladder with the heater.
When they have blocking drills, do they ever test you guys from side to side like Castro was a couple of pitches ago?
You know, generally that'll might be a little something at the end, but it's more about getting the basics down.
Wow, that was a take all the way, and it's 3-1.
Is it ever? Close pitch too.
Not sure what was going on there.
I wonder if Avila had said time please or anything there, because he's a little running conversation going on.
It would appear, because he just dropped the bat. He was not ready to hit, but it worked out in his favor. Now it's 3-1. Gomez now is moving to straightaway center field, as you might have noticed on that shot. Trevor Bauer went 5 innings in relief to win that game for Cleveland today at Toronto in the 19th. He was to be tomorrow's starting pitcher. Steve Stone, who's here broadcasting with the White Sox, said the Blue Jays hitters took 10 third strikes in that game. They struck out 18 times. Cleveland struck out 15 times. Edwin Encarnacion was tossed out of the game by the home plate umpire in the first inning for arguing a ball and strike call. 577 pitches were thrown in that 19-inning game. That was the longest in the majors this year.
Jays hitters must have disagreed with a lot of calls, huh?
Yeah. Well, they were. It started early. Josh Donaldson. Vic Carapazza was the home plate umpire. Donaldson took issue with the call, and then Encarnacion came up right after that. He was called out on strike 3. He got tossed, and the manager John Gibbons got tossed.
Well, it left a short day back in the clubhouse for those guys.
On Canada Day. Just popped out of the mitt. It would have been the final pitch at the top of the inning here. Couldn't quite hold it.
I don't know if that was the straight change at 85 or just a little off the heater for Mike. Sometimes when there's less velocity, I'll say it the other way, when there's more velocity on the heater, it's the better chance for the catcher to hang on to the foul tip.
Got a mitt on it, but couldn't quite hang it. Both these pitchers need their off-speed stuff to be effective. Avila takes a walk, and that's number 1 for Fiers.
It's a pretty good looking pitch. Close one way or the other. You can see 5 there was a ball and 7 is a ball, and those should be strikes. And that's just, yeah, that whole sequence right there. Really not great work behind the plate.
Garcia, who doubled to left field, comes around for the second time. He came up with Detroit. Comparisons were made to Miguel Cabrera, who sort of took Garcia under his wing. There's strike 1. He kind of looked like a mini Miguel Cabrera to some people, but
I thought he looked like the big Miguel at times. Man, and the actions were quite similar at the time.
Yeah. He's listed at 6'4", 240 now.
Yeah, I think Miggy might have to go a few pizzas on that one.
It's 1-1. Garcia came to the White Sox in a 3-way trade back in July of 2013. Jake Peavy went to Boston. Jose Iglesias went to Detroit in that one. Boy, Peavy was upset last night when a couple plays weren't made in the outfield by the Giants. Or 2 nights ago, rather. Foul back. He's about as demonstrative as a pitcher has done that I've seen in quite some time. When Angel Pagan failed to make a play in left field.
You know, and I get it. Every play huge for the guy on the mound. But when your team is playing as well as the Giants have been playing, I think you need to temper those emotions a bit.
Yeah. Abreu opened the inning with a double. 2-out walk, put Avila on first. Now a 1-2 pitch coming from Fiers. And another curve in the dirt evens the count at 2-2. Dallas Keuchel got the win over the Angels on Wednesday. The Astros were off yesterday. Scott Feldman really helped this pitching staff by winning the 7-1 game Tuesday night in Anaheim. He went 5 innings coming out of the bullpen, so A.J. Hinch's club has been getting that reliable work from the guys on the mound. Got a little rest for the bullpen, and the Kansas City series certainly helped with that bullpen situation too, with those 2 13-run games back-to-back for the Astros. 64 pitches for Fiers. Lance McCullers due to start Monday here now. Line to right field. Springer with the grab. No runs, 1 hit. 2 men left, no score.
look at our Chevy Stro poll. Make sure to head over to Twitter, get on our Root Sports SW page to vote in the poll. Who will be the Stros breakout star in July? Could be a couple people you could name in June, but Jake Marisnick, AJ Reed, Dallas Keuchel, or someone else who's going to break out for the Astros in the month of July. We'll tell you who wins the Stro poll later on, guys.
Thank you, Julia. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how everybody votes on that one. 0-0 as George Springer bats. Miguel Gonzalez is perfect through 3. Springer grounded out to shortstop.
I have kind of a knee jerk to that question.
Okay. What's your knee saying?
Well, it says it's not going to rain this evening.
Okay.
And beyond that, you know, you could. There's been a lot of talk about the Astros kind of lengthening their lineup with the moves that have been made. There's a name on that list that could help in that regard.
Ooh.
Dallas Keuchel is not taking a lot of extra batting practice, so not sure you want to put him on there. It just depends how you look at it. Do you need more pitching, more offense? What's the biggest factor now for the team? Wouldn't mind seeing Dallas fine last year once again.
Springer with a big cut, fouls it back. It's 2 balls and a strike.
Love to hear his reaction. AJ, you don't catch him off guard with anything. He has thought about everything that comes his way.
.402 batting average, the best in the majors when the Astros are ahead in the count. 2-2 to Springer.
Yeah, the offense has made an enormous difference, but the pitching has been really good too in seeing the Astros move forward. But I think they could score more runs a game and help themselves immensely.
Springer's hit by the pitch, and the Astros have their first base runner.
Hey, what, George can take it like a man, can he?
Yeah. Any way to get on base.
I've seen him get hit sometimes where I think, man, that would hurt. And he just acts like nothing happened.
6th time he's been hit by a pitch this year. Valbuena struck out his first time up. Ball 1. Last year when Miguel Gonzalez faced the Astros, he lost 3-1 here at Houston. That's McCullers' pitch. Gave up 3 runs in 6 2/3 innings on 3 homers. 2 by Chris Carter, 1 by George Springer in that one. He's 1-3 with a 3.60 lifetime ERA against Houston. Tough luck losses there. And there's the toss over. Springer has 6 stolen bases in 12 attempts. Astros as a team have 63 steals. They've been caught 23 times. Avila has thrown out 22%. In for a strike. 1-1. Tim Anderson's playing up the middle on Valbuena. It's not the full-fledged shift. Two and one. I guess technically you don't call this a shift at all, because in order to be defined as a shift, one of the infielders would have to be playing on the other side of the base, correct?
Yeah, I've had a tendency of calling them semi-shifts, and you know, we've seen shifts to this degree and even beyond the bag for, I don't know, it's gone on in the game for a long time. You see a lot more of them today. Well, let's see. You've been around the Astros since mid-'80s.
Yeah.
And in that time, you go back to the 80s, I'm sure you saw some shifts surface, just not the routine shift on, in particular, that left-hand hitter that you see today.
Right. That's true. I kept waiting for you to shift when you were catching, but you never did it.
Did many times. It just wasn't noticeable to the typical fan. I was subtle in my shifting.
Pretty hard to shift the catcher.
There's a shift.
Springer, with the 6 steals and 12 tries, he's had a much better percentage than that in the past. He was quite a base stealer in the minor leagues.
That's just another facet of the game that's much tougher to bring to this level.
You are so right. Well, there are so many defensive measures being used against the stolen base at the major league level. He's going. And it's ball 4. Valbuena takes the first walk from Gonzalez.
Academy Sports and Outdoors and the Houston Astros are hitting home runs for Houston. So is Jose Altuve. And he has increased the clip rather steadily. Back in 2012, 7, dropped off to 5, back to 7 again. Last year had what a lot of people thought was going to be his high watermark, 15 bombs. Already 13 this year. There are a few games I hear left to play. And you hope he can continue that kind of a pace.
941 hits.
Now, see, Brownlee, this is an offensive outburst.
Yeah. 2 men on, nobody out. Altuve's been on base for 32 consecutive games. Longest streak by an Astro since Lance Berkman in 04. He reached in 37 straight. That's strike 1. Altuve, with this batting average of .357 at the end of June, ranks up there with the best Astros of all time through the end of June. Lance Berkman hit .365 at the end of June in 08. Moises Alou hit .364 through June 30th of 01. Ground ball, Gonzalez throwing to Anderson. Anderson relaying to Abreu for a double play. 1-6-3. Springer to third base.
That you haven't seen much, and I don't think you'll see a lot more from Altuve. Got completely tied up to start that double play. Yeah, that was a pretty good man to have at the plate in that situation.
That's the 11th double play Altuve has bounced into this season. Carlos Correa now has a runner at third and 2 outs. He hit a deep drive to right field in the second inning. Colby Rasmus is on deck. Ball 1 to Carlos, whose batting average dropped to a season low .241 May 28th. Since then he's hit .323 in his last 26 games.
Well, May 22nd the club was 11 games under 500. Correlation? I think so.
Pretty strong one. In the dirt, Avila comes up with it. 2-0. broken bat looper. Here's Anderson coming in. And it's going to be a run for the Astros. It never bounced for him. And Correa is going to get a broken bat infield RBI single for his 50th run batted in. 1-0 Houston.
Ball smiles right now. It's not how hard all the time you hit him. And that spinning balata right there at the edge of the grass is tough to deal with. And you could see that Correa, after getting tied up, all of a sudden realized, you know what? This is no gimme on this play.
That's a very interesting way to take a lead.
Break up a no-no.
Yeah.
And continue driving in the runs. 50 with that one. They should show number 50 at the end of the year.
Yeah. Colby Rasmus scalded a line drive to left field. So the hard hit balls are outs in this game. And the other ones are hits.
Abner was a sick fella.
Strike one. Carlos will go home after the game tonight, put on a Bee Gees album, and listen to soft hits from the 70s.
Staying alive with that swing.
Out to left field, Garcia back a few steps, now over a few steps. And it's 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 man left. 1-0 Astros after 4. Houston Astros baseball on Root Sports is presented by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By Lexus, the new 2016 Lexus ES and ES Hybrid, it's next level luxury. And by Academy Sports and Outdoors, donating $100 for each Astros home run and $200 for each Correa home run to Houston Children's Charity. 1-0 Astros moving to the 5th inning on a partly cloudy night and very warm outside. Mike Fiers goes to work on Tyler Saladino and throws strike one. Saladino hit a fly ball to center field, leaving 2 men in scoring position in the 2nd. Fouls it back to fall behind 0-2. Tyler, 26 years old. He's from San Diego, went to Oral Roberts University. The Astros had drafted him prior to college in the 36th round in 09, but then he went to the White Sox. Still 0-2. We were reading that article by Jay Kaplan today in the Houston Chronicle about the international signings that we could be hearing about. That international signing period begins tomorrow. The Astros are expected to be active in signing international players.
That's a market that, with some of the signings, has netted a lot, and with some has been pretty dangerous.
Well, the landscape is changing, it would appear, because the current labor agreement ends after this season, and there might be new conditions with the new agreement.
I would assume those conditions would include having some restrictions on amounts of money that would flow.
Well, I think that's a possibility from what we're reading. So it seems that some teams are going to go ahead and surpass the dollar figure that they had planned and go ahead and pay a luxury tax on that, just to get those players under contract, feeling that this might be a last chance deal before the new agreement comes into agreement with the players and owners. So that puts a little more interest than normal maybe into this signing period coming up starting tomorrow. And there are rumors that the Astros may sign a Cuban player or two. They're looking at others in the Dominican and Venezuela as well.
Well, you look at what a Jose Abreu can bring a franchise, and that's one of the rich ones. But again, it's been volatile.
Well, from what we're hearing, the free agent market is not a strong one for next winter. And with the cost of acquiring top free agent talent being as high as it is right now, a lot of teams are preferring to explore bringing players through their own system. It's 3-2 now. It's going to be an interesting time here the next couple weeks leading up to the All-Star break.
Yeah.
Walk number 2 for Fiers.
That wasn't a bad looking pitch.
Pretty close.
We've seen some earlier that have been missed, to be sure. That one did not get missed by the home plate umpire.
J.B. Shuck had the game-winning hits yesterday. It was a 3-hit game for him. 1-0 lead for the Astros. Shuck grounded out to first baseman Marwin Gonzalez, his first time up. Buena's on the grass at third. Runner takes off. Ball hit in the air. Correa out into shallow left center. He's calling and making the catch. He got out quickly. Lobs it into Altuve. 1 down.
Doesn't want to show off his arm in the event that maybe he can catch somebody napping later. Saladino goes into an emergency slide to get back. That's actually a very good way to stop your momentum and get it turned back around.
It really is. You know, I think the first player I ever saw do that was Ken Caminiti.
That's, you actually bring back memories of seeing Cam do that.
It's a quick way to stop in reverse field. Tim Anderson has lined out and struck out. Pretty close at first base on the Fiers pickoff to Gonzalez.
Well, it would have appeared on the previous pitch that Robin Ventura went hit and run. He's decided maybe the White Sox have to force the issue a little bit right now.
Maybe thinking stolen base that time, but it almost backfired. Fouled away for a strike.
Yeah, I was thinking, Bronny, about, and I hope I have the name right, with the Boston Red Sox, Rusney Castillo, who was signed as one of the Cuban players. And big deal.
I think it was a 7-year deal for a lot of money.
$70-some million.
Right.
They have already paid off that deal. They're done. They saw enough.
There's a lot of risk there. Castro keeps it close enough to prevent any advance on the pitch in the dirt, and it's 1-1.
And it makes you wonder how Major League franchise goes in, sees a guy, gets the word that yes, we're willing to put up the big bucks for this guy, and then have it turn around that quickly.
Well, it also seems pretty obvious to many that there will be a new system involving the Cuban players in effect fairly soon. so that they do not have to escape the island. But there's probably going to be some kind of a posting fee, such as there is with Japanese players coming to the U.S. So the Cuban government will get a fair amount of that money, and then the players will get a fair amount as well. And that allows them to leave with permission from Cuba rather than having to escape.
Seems like a really big handicap to a lot of the organizations that can't put up that posting money. It's you know, some of those figures have been enormous.
They have.
Again, looks like with a good throw right there, there might have been an opportunity.
Fiers really working on him. Steams another throw over to Marwin. Saladino with 3 steals in 5 attempts. Well, that's one proven way to cut down on the running game. Repeated throws to first, as our old buddy Jim Deshaies learned.
Oh, he was just wearing people out. That's all he was doing.
But the great base stealers do take a terrific beating, don't they? Going back in on all these pickoff throws.
Yeah, maybe so. I have had the belief that, yes, if a guy has a really good move, it can really impact things. I've seen guys slide back into the bag 7 times in a row, as Deshaies would give to you, and then take off running successfully. But Dallas Keuchel with that quick slide step is the way that I think you best shut it down.
George Springer backs in right field. 2 outs.
But then it falls under the category of whatever works.
Yeah.
And some guys definitely find a way with the pickoff move.
Well, but you bring up an appropriate point, because teams are in possession of all kinds of facts and figures on release times by pitchers, pop times on catchers. They know exactly when they can run on a pitcher.
Yep, it's very true. And you've got first base coaches, and it's been going on for a long time with stopwatches. They can tell that runner exactly what the split time is. And they know inside of a 10th what it takes for a guy to be able to steal second base.
Adam Eaton is 0 for 2. In the dirt. Eaton's from Springfield, Ohio. He went to Miami of Ohio. Billy Doran's old school.
Miss seeing Billy. Love to see him pop around again.
Yeah, he was in for one of the reunions a few years ago, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Been a little while.
It has been a while.
Liner to right. Springer backing with the play to end the top of the 5th. No runs, no hits, and a man left. 1-0 Houston. presented by MD Anderson, flashing it back to a big drive. Wade Miller gave it up. July 1st, 2003. Richie Sexson off the center field flagpole. It hit high up on that flagpole. Greg Biggio playing center got it in. He wound up with a triple, but he claimed it should have been a home run since he hit it way up high, and it easily would have gone far over that yellow line, but the flagpole is in play, and it's a triple.
3 flagpoles out there, and you chose to hit the wrong one, Richie.
Strike one to Carlos Gomez.
You know, I may be one of the rare people, but I like Tal's Hill. I like the flagpole.
Yeah.
I like years later telling about Richie Sexson hitting that drive. And
I don't think you're one of the rare people.
No?
Yeah, there's a whole group sending emails around. Ground ball third. Saladino across, 1 out.
Did Richie get his agent involved trying to get that turned into a home run?
I'm sure he did. Remember the old monuments in Yankee Stadium?
Sure.
They were in play.
Hey, I played with a young guy that came to the big leagues with the Indians, Tommy Smith, who hit a line drive over Bobby Mercer's head. 1973, the last year of the old configuration. Rolled in by the monuments, the baseball, not Bobby Mercer, and Tommy Smith wound up with a home run, and it was a great moment.
Yeah, certainly different. Marwin Gonzalez popped to short in the 3rd inning. The Astros have 1 run on 1 hit. White Sox no runs on 3 hits. There's strike 1. Knowing that Chris Sale will be facing the Astros tomorrow. He has a 13-2 record at 2.79 ERA. They'd love to get this one tonight. It's a 3-10 start tomorrow for Chris Sale, and Doug Fister has been excellent for the Astros. 0-2.
You know, Brownie, I want to hit on one real quick. One of the tweets that comes in asking about why shifts seem to be more prominent with left-hand hitters, and I'm not sure that I really have the answer, but I'll just say that maybe that more left-hand hitters tend to be rollover kind of pull hitters that hit the ball on the ground to the right side than righties are to the left. And again, I don't know that I would get anybody to totally agree with that, but maybe a perspective.
Look where Anderson, the shortstop, is playing right now, right behind second base. A lot of hits are taken away with that kind of positioning too.
You know, with Mike Hampton on the hill, you wouldn't have to do that.
Good point. Center fielder Schuck moves over for it. 2 outs because Mike took care of all that himself.
I get to thinking, of course, Dallas Keuchel's a Gold Glove winner a couple of times himself. So maybe you can alter things a bit more with a Dallas Keuchel on the hill than where you're trying to cover right up the middle.
Yeah. A.J. Reed struck out in the 3rd inning.
It's the time. It's right now.
Wouldn't he love for this to be the time? There's a shot. He got it. And Reed will try. Well, nope, he won't try for second base, but he has his first major league hit after starting 0 for 16.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, Altuve is going to throw that to the upper tank. Guys in the dugout are great. They'll get another baseball and fire it up there. Well, there's a lot of weight taken off those shoulders right now. Still didn't wait on the baseball as much as maybe he would like to.
Number 1 for A.J. Reed. That's hit number 2 for the Astros. Jason Castro grounded out to first base. The pitcher covering. He rips one, and that's caught by Abreu, and it's out number 3. No runs, a hit, and a man left. We go to the 6th inning, and it's 1-0 Astros.
1-0 lead. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Tonight's Quicken Loans Rocket Arms. Baseball all set up, ready to bring it. How about the Cleveland Indians? They've won 14 straight. They have won front line starting rotation. Danny Salazar, Corey Kluber, former Cy Young Award winner Josh Tomlin, Trevor Bauer, and Carlos Carrasco. Guys are dealing on the hill. And yeah, they played some good baseball otherwise, but that pitching is leading what the Indians are doing right now.
What a month of June for those 5. Jose Abreu leads it off in the 6th. He has a double in 2 trips. Here's strike 1 for Mike Fiers. That's 16 of 21 first pitch strikes for Fiers in this game. Carlos Gomez back. He's checking the wall. He's at the wall. And right in front of it, about a 400-foot out, number 1.
That is an enthusiastic center fielder. Get back there and then scare us all, make your way back. He enjoys the game, that's for sure.
Todd Frazier singled to left center, and he lined out to left. Tony Sipp and Pat Neshek are warming up for Houston. Fiers deals, and there's ball 1. In for a strike, 1-1. So it would appear that the Astros are really ready to make a change if anything is stirred up here by the White Sox in the 6th. Fiers at 85 pitches at this point. But part of that is due to the fact that the bullpen has had some rest recently. Yesterday was a day off.
Well, we were standing there talking to A.J. Hinch, and he had his night in the bullpen all worked out, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He was thinking about it
before the ball game.
Yeah, different matchups that he might use. Here's Marwin Gonzalez to shallow right field. And with a shift on, Jose Altuve was nowhere close to that, so Marwin gets back for out number 2. That's important. Some first basemen can't get out there, and George Springer couldn't have made the play.
And we saw A.J. Reed make a really nice pick on a throw from Correa the other day. But I would say on the whole, Marwin Gonzalez, as that athlete, infielder, outfielder, has done a real nice job at first.
He certainly has. Brett Lawrie is 0 for 2. He lined out to third his last time up. We're checking back on the scorecard. We have 7 lineouts for both teams combined in this game. Sipp and Neshek. Liner here into left center field. Lawrie flying around first. But Rasmus with a throw, and the relay from Correa to Altuve safe. They had a shot at him. 2-out double for Brett Lawrie.
That double came from going up the first base line hard. Brett Lawrie sniffed that immediately after hitting a tough little cutter down and away. He is he's an energetic player, to say the very least, but right there he knows it, and that's what bought him the 2-bagger. Bottom line, you love to see that from players. Colby didn't get off his strongest throw. Did get rid of it quickly.
Kept his foot on the base. A double for Lawrie, his 21st. Hit number 4 for the White Sox. Avila's the batter. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. And that's strike 1 on a foul tip. Garcia on deck. Looks like Sipp has sat down now. Fiers gets to stay in to face a left-handed hitter. Batting average against him just about identical, left and right-handed hitters against Mike Fiers. It's 0-2. Astros staff ERA for June was 3.11. One ball, 2 strikes. Extra innings in our nation's capital. Reds 2, Nationals 2, bottom of the 10th inning. Fiers has allowed a .208 batting average with runners in scoring position in the month of June. While going 2-0 with a 2.86 ERA, and he's gotten his most important outs in those situations tonight. 2 men left in the second in scoring position, 2 men left in the fourth. Another one stranded in the fifth. Two. The Astros have won 9 of their last 11 at Minute Maid Park. Struck him out. What a big pitch from Mike Fiers to preserve a 1-0 lead with strikeout number 4 to end the top of the 6th.
Quote of the day, and it comes from Lance McCullers, who said this about his teammate Jose Altuve. He's the LeBron James of the American League, and no doubt Jose Altuve has been talked about in the MVP sense of how good is this guy, not just for this team but for the entire league. What he's doing this season so far, on the field, off the field, he's done it all, and his teammates are definitely recognizing it. You see Lance talking about him there. Also Dallas Keuchel a couple days ago saying, I have no idea what else I can say about Jose Altuve. He surprises me all the time. And then Carlos Correa today saying, this guy makes me better. I'm more comfortable in the box, mostly because he's usually on base when I'm up to hit, but he just makes me feel better, makes me feel more comfortable. I love watching him, guys.
George Springer hits one toward the right field corner. It's slicing and going foul. And he scored the only run in this game after he was hit by a pitch in the 4th inning. He's 0 for 1.
Can you be the LeBron James of the league and surprise people in the same breath at all times? It's a unique combination of talents, attributes that Jose Altuve possesses.
Ken Giles is warming up for Houston. Big Papi hit a milestone homer, passing Ted Williams on the all-time list. It was number 19 of the year for David Ortiz. For Boston, currently in a rain delay, Boston leads the Angels 5-4. C.J. Cron hit a grand slam for the Halos. 0-2. Phillies have a 1-run lead on Kansas City, 4-3 in the bottom of the 8th at Philadelphia. 1-2. How different things are with the Astros compared to when they went to Chicago. They were 15-24 on May 17th. They were 5-14 on the road. They had not won a road series all year. And they won 2 of 3. Springer is called for swinging, and it's a strikeout. That's number 3 for Gonzalez.
Jack in the Box takes us inside the box score. Astros offense, runs per game. You can see early in the game or the season they weren't scoring much at all, but in June, Brownie talked about it earlier, about 5.2 runs a game. Batting average comes right along as you see the numbers go up, and the on-base percentage reflective, but coming up with some of the big swings with men on base has been a big difference maker for this team.
Valbuena has struck out and walked. I want to go back to that though, Ash. There's a strike, because I was fascinated to see how much better the on-base average was in June than in the other 2 months. And I asked A.J. Hinch about that tonight. He gave me several reasons. But then you hit on another point, and the team has hit a lot better with runners in scoring position, of course, as well. So what a dramatic change from 313, 318 to 354 on base average in June.
You know, when you go out to dinner and you're really hungry, and the only thing that's going to satisfy you is that combo platter, and that's kind of what it's been. It's been on both sides, and it's been serving it up much better, let's say that.
Well, I think AJ might have been saying, let's mix in some salads every now and then too.
I don't know if he'd go that route.
He struck him out because he said he's made the point, go ahead and be a good hitter, and that'll get you by for a while. In other words, take your hits for a while.
Well, you know, and one of the other things AJ was talking about, it was pretty comprehensive, was about the guy, Carlos Correa, and this mentality that has changed on him that says, now when he's got a chance to drive in runs, take advantage. We are looking at you to be that guy.
Right. Altuve playing in his 171st consecutive game, 0 for 2 tonight. And he looks at strike 1.
But this guy might be the straw.
He has the longest consecutive game streak in the majors right now. AJ had talked about giving him a day off in Anaheim.
Well, that would have been a drastic mistake that final day.
And all he did was come up with 4 hits.
I don't know if Jose Altuve is comfortable with an off day. Quite honestly.
Well, he just had 1. Ground ball third. Saladino makes it a 1-2-3 6th. 1-0 Houston after 6. Game. The Astros lead it on an infield RBI single by Carlos Correa in the 4th inning. And now they make a pitching change. Mike Fiers coming out after 6 innings of 4-hit shutout ball. Walking 2, fanning 4. Ken Giles coming in 0-3 with a 4.91 ERA. And he has been lowering that ERA every time out for a while now.
Yeah, the numbers, they are improving for Ken Giles, no doubt. Still a little up and down at times. ERA would tell you that it hasn't been a smooth ride at 4.91. The whip close to a man and a half on base per innings, and the 5 home runs allowed. Surprising for me, especially when you consider the relative, well, beyond relative, the low number of home runs that he had allowed in a Philly uniform. And that was a much better park to hit in than this one. Still is, for that matter.
Avisail Garcia leads it off. Giles pitched 2 of the games in Anaheim. Scoreless ball in both of those. He pitched a scoreless inning in Kansas City on the road trip. Last 4 outings, nobody has scored on Giles. Garcia has a double and a line out to right field. Fastball fouled away. There's strike 1. Mike Fiers threw 92 pitches, 60 were strikes, lowering his ERA to 4.12. You know, going back to Mike Fiers' excellent work with men in scoring position tonight, there was a story we always heard about Greg Maddux when he threw his bullpens, and he would throw so many pitches from the stretch. And somebody asked him about it. He said, because the biggest pitches I'm going to make in the game are going to be from the stretch.
Interesting thinking for a guy who didn't allow many base runners.
1-2. He swung, and there's a strikeout for Giles on the big slider.
Such a weapon for Ken Giles. And you can see it was nowhere close to the strike zone, but if you can get it started looking like a fastball that might find the outside corner at the knees, you have that chance.
Saladino hit a fly ball to center and walked. It's ball 1.
How does that happen?
Just a bit high.
And then you don't get the call.
Ryan Duran used to do that when he'd come in to warm up for the Yankees with those Coke bottle glasses.
Take the glasses off, rub them on his uniform, and squint in toward home plate and wait for the coming hitters to gain confidence.
So if you're that on deck hitter and you're watching that, oh boy, here we go.
You see that smile on the face. That's all part of that impact you're talking about.
That is. Next pitch right over the outside edge.
Yeah, sure. I'm going to hang in there and wail on that one.
It's 2-1. 19 of the last 23 outings have been scoreless for Giles. His ERA, his last 26 games, is 3.13. Relievers start the year the way Giles started the year, and they carry that high ERA for months, even with good solid work.
It's tough to shave, isn't it? You know, Giles in those 2 seasons in Philadelphia pitched in 115 plus innings and allowed a total of 3 home runs. So you just wouldn't anticipate that he would come over here and start giving up some long balls.
No, he gets a punch out. He gave up 3 homers in his first 4 outings this year.
And I guess in streaks, a lot of things do come. But that kind of a streak at the start of a career with a new ball club probably doesn't lend to a lot of confidence to begin things.
Makes it tougher to settle in, doesn't it?
It's a good slider again.
Such a pitch for him. J.B. Shuck is 0 for 2. He's an Ohio Stater. In for strike one. Astros drafted him in the 6th round in 08. After he had played for the Buckeyes, and their second choice this year was a Buckeye outfielder. JB now 29 years old. 1-0. Or 1-1 rather. He went to the Angels as a free agent after being with the Astros. Then Cleveland picked him up on waivers, and the White Sox claimed him on waivers prior to last season. Chop foul. 1-1. Austin Jackson is the White Sox center fielder who's injured right now. So he's out. The left fielder Melky Cabrera is out. They have lost 3 key members of their bullpen out for the season. Jake Petrichka, Zach Putnam, and Daniel Webb. And the White Sox really lost some talented players. Over Correa, and Gomez gets there on the run. Coming a long way for out number 3. We go to the last of the 7th inning. 1-0 Houston. Showing you the combined stats of the 3rd and 4th hitters in Major League ranks. It's Altuve and Correa hitting 3rd and 4th and averaging 1.79 runs batted in per game combined. 4th best in the majors. Almost 2 runs per game, 1st, and a .370 batting average, 1st. In those games in which they have batted 3rd and 4th this year.
So when people say it's all about pitching in Major League Baseball, well, it's all about run differential. That's for sure. And if you can outscore the other teams in the process of pitching well or not pitching well, you still have a good chance.
Carlos Correa is 1 for 2. That RBI was number 50 of the season. This is game number 80. So he's on a 100 RBI pace. Ball 1 in the dirt. Well, wouldn't that really add to the achievements of this fantastic young player if he could drive in 100 this year?
I think he's set himself up very well considering a slow start to the year. Well, you talk about a first full year in the big leagues and get to 100 RBIs as a shortstop.
Yeah.
You start talking about that great shortstop grouping that came up about, what, 20 plus years ago? And
yeah, that was quite a group. 2-0 to Correa. Only 68 pitches for Gonzalez. This group right now might be something to follow in another 15 years.
You're right. Lindor with the Indians.
High chop. Saladino. Low throw. Abreu can't hold the throw. Looked like he was battling the lights on that high bouncer to Saladino. He's looking up now into those lights.
It looked like a catchable throw for me.
Might have been.
I think I just heard an E5, but let's get our look at it. That's an E3 for me.
That is ruled an E5. You're right.
Yeah, you know, you could even argue that Abreu could reach out a little further there at first base.
Right. I have to agree with you. Fourth error for Saladino. Colby Rasmus is 0 for 2. He's hit the ball to left field twice. First time he scalded a line drive out to Garcia in left. Correa is 8 for 11 in stolen bases. Texas and Minnesota are tied 2-2. They're in the bottom of the 7th at Target Field. Texas has lost 9 times in its opponent's final at bat this year. Closing on a pass ball to the Yankees yesterday. Julia.
Hey Brownie, it's time to play, brought to you by Toyota. Looking at Colby Rasmus and that road trip he had. 476 is what he hit on that road trip. Feeling much better, and I did some digging, some subtle tweaks that he made. Just dropping his hands down a little bit has helped his setup, and he's seen the ball a little bit better lately. It's helped him to hit the ball harder too. He's going the opposite field. All good things for Colby.
Very good batting average in June. Heck of a road trip for Colby. Zach Duke warming up for the Sox. He's their lefty in the pen, and it's 1-1. Along with the right-hander. Chris Beck is warming up alongside Duke. We might see another game of this variety tomorrow. Doug Fister versus Chris Sale. Sunday it's Colin McHugh and Jose Quintana. That's a 1:10 start Sunday, 3:10 start tomorrow. Oh, Carlos was leaning a little bit. 31,965 the paid attendance on this Friday night. Fireworks coming up. And more fireworks to come later in the weekend all around. Ground ball foul, 1-2. Major League Baseball is putting out those 4th of July caps for all the teams. That's going to be a special game in Fort Bragg Sunday night. Major League Baseball built a baseball stadium at Fort Bragg, which will be used by the military after this one game Sunday night between the Braves and the Marlins. Foul back. Good effort tonight by Miguel Gonzalez. It's his 11th start of the year. 40 wins and 36 losses in his career.
With fortune on his side, he may not have given up a base hit right now.
True enough. Well, little things in these 1-0 games really add up, don't they?
That RBI hit by Correa. Not your classic RBI hack, but and then the base hit by Reed, his first major league hit, going by the first baseman. So yeah, Gonzalez has been very good.
And he's really worked on the base runners very hard tonight.
Apparently Abreu didn't call for that pitch.
St. Louis leads Milwaukee 7-1 at the end of 6 in St. Louis. That one goes well foul.
That was a get out of my kitchen hack right there.
Chris Carter at his 20th home run for Milwaukee tonight. Miami traded for the San Diego closer Fernando Rodney, but the Miami closer has not blown a save all year long. Fouled away. And Fernando Rodney is now in the game for Miami, leading 5-4 at Atlanta, bottom of the 8th inning. So he evidently is going to be the setup man now for the Marlins. Marcell Ozuna hit his 17th home run for them tonight.
Maybe the surprise team of the year.
Yeah. Don Mattingly has created some waves. The Marlins going 41-38 after low expectations coming into this season.
Done it without his big slugger, Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah.
For the good part.
2-2. Stanton is hitting .217 for the year with a .438 slugging percentage, Ash.
Surprising. I mean, we know how dangerous he is, but those numbers really do surprise me.
I think his confidence was shattered when he lost the home run hitting contest to Barry Bonds in spring training.
Oh, that'll kill a guy.
Correa takes off out into right field. Eaton with the catch. He will make a throw to first, but it's offline, and he is leading all outfielders with 11 outfield assists in the American League. He gave it a shot, but the throw drifted, and Correa was able to get back.
Astros fans, I think, understandably love what they see from George Springer as a right fielder. White Sox fans and their broadcasters feel the same way about this guy. I feel like he's played a great right field. That is all-out effort.
It had to be hustle to get back. He's a little winded. After the wind sprint there between second and first, Carlos Gomez is 0 for 2. Line drive to left, ground ball to third. Well, that's important for that base runner, though, to pick up where the ball is, or he's going to get doubled off. Those middle infielders are just waiting to deke the base runner and have him think it's a ground ball.
It looked like Carlos relied on his own senses right there. Sometimes a lot of guys are told make sure and pick up your third base coach. It's a little bit challenging on that kind of a play.
Foul back. Well, if it's a hit and run play, the runner can really look in, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Even on some steals, but we look at our Lexus defensive ratings, and you can see with Adam Eaton, he's a 10 ranking, and don't run on him kind of guy. Avisail Garcia, excuse me, that name just messes with me, but he throws well in left field, just not a great left fielder. J.V. Shuck, more the guy you're going to try to run on.
Is that Jeff Blum's red light on there?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
But I obey the red light of Jeff Blum.
Oh, yeah. Diamondbacks lead the Giants 3-1. Middle of the third in Arizona. Shelby Miller is going for the D-backs against Johnny Cueto. Wellington Castillo hit his 9th homer. Well, a lot of people thought the Giants might really be reeling without Hunter Pence for weeks, right? But they're getting by quite well. 50-31.
Is there something about the belief system that says in the even number year we're going to win this thing? How much does that play into that club? 3 world titles on even number years.
Can't argue with success, right? They have an alternate year dynasty going.
They do that. Bruce Bochy's got a sometime in the nebulous future date with the Hall of Fame, I think, as a manager.
Here's a question for you. Players have to be retired for 5 years to be considered for the Hall of Fame. How about managers?
Don't know the answer to that. I'll fire one back at you since I've acknowledged that I don't know. Can a player be part of the home run derby at the All-Star game when he's not on the All-Star team?
Yes.
Can be.
Yes.
Okay. You outshined me once again.
No, I don't. Yeah, I think it's happened once or twice. He can, but I just don't think it's happened very often.
Madison Bumgarner in.
Yeah. High to left field. Gomez makes it 3-0 Houston. Number 4. That's 20 runs batted in for Carlos Gomez.
That's a big swing for the team. That was high energy base circulating going on right there. And we are going to continue the trend. Boy, on a night where you really didn't have what you call a clean hit, that one breaks it up.
#101st home run for the Astros this season. 3-0. Luke Gregerson has been warming up. Marwin Gonzalez is 0 for 2. Hot shot knocked down by Abreu. Then he kicks it and gets to first base. 2 outs.
See what Carlos does. Well, he got that fastball in off the inside edge and just a quick bat to it. So he is not going to high energy it to begin with. But after a peek at the dugout, we are going to get wild and crazy.
A.J. Reed is 1 for 2. Comes up for the 3rd time. Got his first major league hit in the 5th inning after starting 0 for 16. That's strike 1.
Well, that little error to start the inning pays off grandly, doesn't it?
And it's unusual for the White Sox because they had the 2nd best fielding percentage in the American League. But yes, it certainly did play into what happened. There would have been 2 outs, nobody on when Gomez came up had the play been made. 0-2. So Correa, who reached on the error, scored what would be an unearned run. Any more runs they might score in this inning would be unearned because there should be 3 outs already had that error not been made. 1-2. Miguel Gonzalez looking unflappable through it all. Two and two. Big swing of the bat there to take it from 1-0 to 3-0. That's foul. Well, with Gomez putting together the month of June he had, Marwin Gonzalez, and of course Luis Valbuena, the Astros really have picked up the pace to make it more of a top to bottom lineup now that can do damage. I think Gaddis had a good power month.
And back to Julia's question early in the ballgame. This guy at the plate could go a long way to further lengthening and making more dangerous this lineup.
He really could. Last year, A.J. Reed hit .346 at Lancaster, .332 at Corpus Christi. Baseball America Minor League Player of the Year, led the minors in homers and runs batted in with 34 and 122. And now a walk.
That took a close pitch to draw that walk. It's the previous foul ball into the dugout. Keep your teammates loose. That is always a credo on a successful team, right? Maybe not.
Somebody's supposed to be protecting Julio over there. Reed comes out as Don Cooper, the pitching coach, has made a visit. We get a pinch runner for Reed. Jake Marisnick is the runner at first, and Cooper's out as the situation now may require a pitching change. We'll see what they decide to do, but just talking it over right now before facing Jason Castro. Robin Ventura's club trailing 3-0 here in the 7th. Castro is 0 for 2. He's hit the ball to first base both times. So the idea here, pinch running, would be to use the speed of Marisnick to get him home on a possible extra base hit by Castro. Or perhaps something develops if Castro reaches later in the inning to allow Marisnick's speed to come into play.
It's kind of a freebie with Reed being the DH tonight.
That's ball one. Marisnick takes off. Throw from Avila right on the bag, and they get him. That was a terrific throw by Avila. Caught stealing from 2 to 6. But Carlos Gomez made it 3-0 with a 2-run homer in the 7th.
two-run bomb by Gomez, 3-0 in the 8th. And we have a winner in our Chevy Stro poll. We asked you earlier which Astro would be the breakout star in July. Ooh, this one was kind of close. Lots of someone else votes, but A.J. Reed, the slight winner here. It's the edge, 32%. It's his first big league knock. Got to get that bat going. This team might look a little different with that bat hot, guys.
How good do you think he feels tonight, though?
Oh, much, much better, I'm sure. That dugout was really fun to watch after that first hit.
We want you to explain something, but first of all, Luke Gregerson in the game. And facing Tim Anderson. 3-0 Houston. Anderson's 0-for-3. Ken Giles had a 1-2-3-7 with 2 strikeouts. And there's ball 1 from Luke Gregerson. Now, we saw Jose Altuve get that baseball. Gregerson 13 for 18 in saves, 3-1 with a 3.78 ERA. And we saw him throw a baseball up into the stands. Were you watching that closely from your vantage point?
Yes, I was.
All right, was that some sleight of hand? Tell us what happened.
A little bit, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what that was. I love that he faked that he was throwing it back up there, but they had another ball ready. They're always ready. So they kept the first hit ball and took it down in the clubhouse, I'm sure.
Good slider, 1 and 2.
It'll probably be in his locker when he gets in there.
So here it is. They switched the ball.
Sneaky Altuve.
He threw an old ball up into the stands, not the one that Reed got his first hit with.
Looked to me like Doug Fister was at the epicenter of that little prank.
Yep. That's a strikeout for Gregerson. So the other thing they might do, Julia, you've seen this a few thousand times, is they'll put a ball in A.J. Reed's locker and they'll have writing all over the ball.
I've seen that.
And that's not the ball he hit either. That's just to decoy him, throw him off a little bit.
I'm not sure what they'll do tonight. They probably have something up their sleeve
Yeah,
for AJ.
They might do a different trend. Eaton is 0-for-3.
Does Reed seem a bit unflappable to you?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, he's ridden with a tough streak here in his first week in the big leagues and just kind of quietly goes about business.
Altuve feels the 2-hopper. Throws out Eaton. Here's another look at how they pull this off. There's the real ball.
These guys are so good, right?
There's a substitute ball. He throws that up to a fan.
It's all about the face.
Yeah.
You really have to sell it. That's what Altuve does.
You're not supposed to put the cameras behind the magician's act, though, are you?
No.
But the fan who caught that thinks he got the A.J. Reed first hit ball, right?
It'll be mounted on their mantle.
In 20 years from now, there will be 10,000 fans who got that ball.
Here's Abreu. He's 1-for-3. It's kind of like Julia. You've been around the NFL some too, you know, remember? And right around Thanksgiving time every year in the NFL, they don't do this anymore. But the NFL teams used to post a note in the locker room. Hey, all rookies, go pick up your free Thanksgiving turkey at such and such a supermarket. You can go down there Wednesday or whatever.
Give them a little fake certificate.
Right. They made it up. 0-2.
This kind of stuff happens every single day in that clubhouse. They never get tired of it.
A strikeout of Abreu, and that's a clean, quick inning for Gregerson. That's 7 straight retired by the Astros pitching 3-0 Astros. It's a shutout night for the Astros so far. They lead it 3-0. They're coming up in the 8th inning. And the bullpen comes into play for the White Sox. Right-hander Chris Beck coming in. In 3 games, he has a 2.45 ERA. He had 1 game with them last year as a starter, Ash.
Yeah, it's a brief set of numbers. You can't read a whole lot from that, but maybe a chance for the Astros to get a peek at something they see a little better than they did early in the ballgame against Miguel Gonzalez, who was really tough.
Miguel Gonzalez with a tough luck night in 7 innings, gave up 3 hits and 3 runs, 2 of them earned. He walked 2, fanned 4. Just did an excellent job. Gave up the RBI infield hit by Correa in the 4th, the 2-run homer by Gomez in the 7th, but that followed an error. Jason Castro is 0 for 2. Gonzalez threw 92 pitches, 63 for strikes. Springer and Valbuena to follow in the Astros 8th. The appeal goes to third base. It's ruled a swing by Mike Everett, the crew chief. That's strike 1. Baltimore and Seattle are tied 1-1 in the last of the 2nd at Seattle. The Mariners will be here Monday through Wednesday, and the Oakland A's next weekend. Bat goes flying on the foul ball. It's 0-2.
The old splitter induces that one. Beck had no idea where the bat was headed.
No balls, 2 strikes on Castro. Wade LeBlanc is starting for Seattle tonight, which puts him in line to start the game here on Wednesday. Kevin Gossman has the ball for Baltimore tonight. Chris Davis hit his 20th home run for Baltimore. Seth Smith, number 8 for Seattle. In the early going, it's 1-1 in the 2nd. Saladino, 1 out. And George Springer comes up. He's 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch and scored the first run in the 4th inning. That Ranger game is tied 2-2. Texas and Minnesota going to the 9th at Target Field now. Trevor Plouffe hit his 7th home run for the Twins. That Ranger bullpen is going to be interesting to follow now. Will that pen hold up under all the appearances? Closer Sam Dyson has had a whole lot of work this year. There is strike 1. No score in Los Angeles between the Rockies and the Dodgers. They're in the top of the 3rd inning. Phillies beat Kansas City 4-3. And Detroit knocked off Tampa Bay 10-2. Diving Saladino gets up and he fires, but not in time to get Springer. That was some kind of an effort by Saladino.
Not to mention by George Springer sprinting down the line, and he threw his safe call in there to hopefully influence the first base umpire. But it looked like George beat this. But you're right, Brownie. That is a gem at third. Just didn't shine in the end. Watch George get to the bag. Ooh, boy, that gets close, doesn't it?
That was really close.
Ooh, that could get a peek from the other side.
Boy,
that surprises me. My full speed glance, I thought George was right with the call. Right. It's really close, and you know, when that's all said and done, that might be too close to overturn.
Well, the umpire and crew is waiting, holding off for the video room of the White Sox to get word to their staff, and they've decided not to challenge. Infield hit for Springer. Luis Valbuena is 0 for 2 with a walk.
Springer threw a little tip of the cap down to Saladino.
Yeah, he really did. Draws a little attention. In the Phillies win over the Royals, Jeremy Hellickson won his 6th, beating Ian Kennedy. He's 6-7. Jeanmar Gomez got his 22nd save. Kendrys Morales at his 12th homer. The Royals might have a tough time hanging in there. Their bullpens had a lot of use, and their starters aren't going deep. Out into left center field. Garcia going for it. That's by him, and Springer will be able to score to make it 4-0. Valbuena into second. RBI double. 4-0 Houston.
You know what doesn't hurt the RBI production at all is speed like Springer brings to the bases.
He's now scored 57 runs, Ash.
And we've talked about Valbuena and his attack that's gotten much better. But you can throw a big thank you at your teammate when George Springer can score from first like this and do it without a throw. And George wasn't even sure to begin with. He's pretty sure right now.
Now he's sure. `16th double for Valbuena. 28 runs batted in. Altuve 0 for 3. A shot hooking foul. Altuve's 11-game hitting streak is on the line. Chris Devenski's warming up for Houston. Earlier, Will Harris was throwing. Now with a 4-run lead, it appears that he will be saved for the next game. There he is, just down in a crouch. Altuve's hit the ball on the ground all 3 times tonight. Out to center field for Schuck. 2 outs.
It's not only the hitting streak, that was 32-game on-base streak on the line there for Jose. Got tied up a little bit. One thing about Jose Altuve, he is about team #1, and everybody down there knows it. But he knows what he can do, and he wants to do it all the time.
Correa is 1 for 3 with an RBI. Rasmus on deck. Ball 1 to Carlos. Reds 2, Nationals 2, bottom of the 13th. Valbuena has to like hitting in between Springer and Altuve.
I think Marwin would throw the hand up as well, hitting in that spot. That's been kind of a little juggle here recently.
You'd have a lot of volunteers for that #2 spot in the lineup.
In a heartbeat.
Ground ball foul. That makes it 1-1.
I, for one, would love to see this Altuve 3, Correa 4 thing last and last and last. Now, if George Springer winds up being that leadoff guy for the long term, then so be it. Maybe you got the Bobby Bonds scenario at the top.
Now, that's a pretty good comparison in terms of home run power and speed at the top of the lineup that Bonds brought. Ooh, 2-1.
Ricky Henderson might be the more recent, but Ricky was so unique in all of his tools.
And he was the best of all time. Is that correct?
Greatest of all time. Yeah.
Greatest of all time.
Which ascends well beyond best of.
Three and one.
Yeah, he's been really good in that leadoff spot, and yet a quiet month of June with the batting average.
Altuve has scored 60 runs. Springer 57 now. That's a nice pace for the first half of the season. And tight, ball four.
So that's one of those at-bats with a man in scoring position where there's no issue with Carlos Correa drawing the walk, and A.J. Hinch was talking about this today. But when he's got chances with pitches to hit with a man in scoring position, that's where the expectation now is for him to go hit those pitches.
Don Cooper goes out to talk it over with Beck. Cooper's been on the scene for many, many years for the White Sox.
It's a very respectful communication where you just listen as the young pitcher.
28 years in the White Sox organization, 13 as the pitching coach for Don Cooper. Colby Rasmus is 0 for 3. Marlins 5, Braves 5, top of the 10th in Atlanta. Strike to Rasmus. This wild card race is going to be fun this year in the American League, Ash.
Got fun last year too, didn't it?
It sure did.
Wound up rather meaningful for the Astros.
Yeah, with you guys going down to that final weekend of the season in Arizona, never a dull moment.
Not a bit.
1-1.
You were with us in spirit and heart and the whole thing.
I was watching. Who wasn't? There you have it. Red Sox, Astros, Royals, Tigers, Blue Jays. Look at this. Astros and Royals are now tied.
What's the magic number?
Oh my gosh. Let's not get into that. Now somebody will be tweeting about it, though. You know that. 2 balls and a strike.
Well, it's a timely topic.
Yes, it is. There are a lot of permutations of fans' rooting interests with all these wild card contenders, though, right?
I always hate when you start things with permutations.
Strike makes it 2-2. So if you had to pick which teams to root against as far as the Astros, let's say that they're a wild card team and not a division winning team, which is too early to say. Well, let's just say that.
So we're getting hypothetical now with permutations.
Yeah, we only got 3 months to go in this season. Let's get hypothetical. We've got 1,014 different combinations of things that could happen. Who would you root against as far as the wild card teams?
Well, let's see. You know, Kansas City, they're the world champions, right?
Yeah.
Boston Red Sox, I think, are tough.
That's going to be a nice souvenir for somebody way up high.
Way up there.
Now, did they really expect to get a baseball?
Didn't even bother bringing the glove, did they?
Nice reward. Very nice upper deck.
Was that Olivia Newton-John that did that song, Let's Get Hypothetical?
Yes, it was. And it was a bestseller, in fact, for a while in Australia.
Toronto Blue Jays. Well, you start looking at these teams, they're all tough.
There's a hit through the middle. Valbuena around third. Here's Shuck throwing into second, and 5-0 Astros on the RBI single by Rasmus. It was almost out number 3 at second, and then it would have been a timing play on whether Valbuena scored ahead of that out at second had it been turned in on Correa. RBI number 40 for Colby.
Well, keep bringing in the runs. Will Harris no longer has a shot at a save here in the 9th inning, but very quiet night offensively for a long while. But suddenly the Astros start to look like the club that was on the road.
And check this out at second now. Yeah, Correa would have been out before Valbuena scored had they gotten him.
That's one you want to be careful about. Not so much in this scenario, but. And I don't fault the guy in this case, Correa. It's you've got to score. You got to get there quickly on that play. And
Gomez with a homer tonight takes strike one.
Well, I don't think Correa could have had in his mind, I'm going to have to be cautious going around the bag here at second in the event the run doesn't score in time. That's pretty tough thinking.
And also, how many outfielders throw behind the guy? Big cut there, and it's 0-2.
Well, your question makes me realize that major league teams are tough, number one, and they evolve, whether for the positive or negative over the course of a season. So it's tough to get that read right now.
It is tough. I think Toronto is a team you might want to root against if you're an Astros fan for the wild card. That's a loaded team as far as the talent on that club with all those hitters. Gomez strikes out, and the Astros tack on with 2 in the 8th inning. On 3 hits, they leave a couple. They're up 5-0 through 8. On Root Sports is presented by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by Toyota. Let's go places. And the people who keep going to Minute Maid Park are seeing better results here. Since the last few weeks have turned things at home. This club 22-15. And Chris Devenski comes in to try to get the final 3 outs on a 5-0 game. He's 0-2. His ERA down to 2.22. A whip just a shade above 1, Ash.
And with all of that, don't forget the Astros are also playing respectably on the road, 20-22.
Yep. That's been a big part of the turnaround. 9 games since May 22nd, a 0.47 ERA for Devo. Todd Frazier leads it off. He's 1 for 3. And that's strike 1 at 93. Well, the relief pitching has been airtight tonight. 3 straight retired by Giles in the 7th. 3 in a row retired by Gregerson in the 8th. Of those 6 batters retired by those 2, 4 have struck out. Change up makes it 0-2.
Change gets more ugly swings,
doesn't it though? And he is not shy about going to it. One ball, 2 strikes. Chris worked in one of the games in Anaheim, 2 of the games in Kansas City, pitching scoreless baseball on the road trip for a total of 3 1/3 innings. His last outing here at home was a dandy against Cincinnati. 3 1/3 innings of 1-hit shutout ball. Popped on the infield. Here's Altuve. 1 out.
Make memories at an Astros game every Sunday with family-friendly activities presented by Kroger. The next Sunday home game is this Sunday, July 3rd, Astros White Sox. For more information, visit astros.com/Sundays or call 1-877-9-ASTROS.
Brett Lawrie doubled in the 6th inning. He's 1 for 3. Smacks one to right field. Springer way back. Over his head. It bounces out of play for a double. That's 2 two-base hits for Lawrie tonight. This one hammered to right field for his 22nd double of the year.
Got the vampire mouth guard there. He is a very intense player. I got to see him when he first came to the big leagues up in Toronto, and kind of crossed the line sometimes, but it's loaded with talent.
Plays very hard. In number 5 for the Sox. Alex Avila is 0 for 2 with a walk. Garcia's on deck. Michael Fulmer 1 for Detroit. He is something. There is strike 1. Fulmer, a rookie right-hander, went 7 innings, giving up 2 hits, no runs, walking 1, fanning 10 against Tampa Bay in a 10-2 win. Fulmer is at 2.17 on his ERA. He's 8-2, Ash.
A lot of intriguing guys out there that could impact things.
I just voted for him for Rookie of the Month in the American League.
I didn't get my sheet. Apparently they did not respect my vote this month.
They always respect your vote.
Why did I limit that to this month?
Well, the Tigers are 42 and 38. Right behind the Astros in that whole wild card picture.
Yeah, Brad Ausmus's boys have turned things around a bit.
They have. He was supposedly in trouble a few weeks ago. 2 balls, 1 strike. In for a strike, and it's 2-2. Davinsky's helped this bullpen in so many ways this year. His ERA, if it stays at 2.22 or goes lower, would be the lowest for an Astros rookie prior to the All-Star break in club history. Ken Forsch currently has the lowest, 2.27 in his rookie season of 71 at the All-Star break. 3-2 to Alex Avila.
My path met with that of Ken Forsch. 1979, second game of the season, no-hitter. Some kind of special night.
Against Atlanta?
Atlanta Braves. They came in and met up with J.R. Richard, Ken Forsch, and Joe Niekro, and they left town with tails tucked a little bit.
0-3 in the series?
Yeah, I believe so. I think they had about 6-7 hits in that 3-game series.
Mets are wailing on the Cubs 10-1 in the top of the 6th inning. Jason Hamill started tonight for Chicago, giving up 10 earned runs in 4 innings. Chris Bryant hit his 23rd homer. Avila takes a walk. 2 men on now for Garcia.
Chris Bryant recently had that 16 total base hit night. 3 home runs, 2 doubles, never been done before.
The Cubs will be here in September. Garcia doubled to left in the second. He lined out to right in the fourth. 1 for 3 tonight. That's ball 1. Alex Bregman and Teoscar Hernandez were promoted, as you probably know, from AA Corpus Christi to AAA Fresno. In their first game, Bregman went 4 for 5. Hernandez went 4 for 6, and Fresno beat Salt Lake 23-3. They exterminated the Bees last night by 20.
It was all about the pitching, though.
Yeah. Hey, it's Canada Day, Ash.
Yeah, and they took a, what, 18-inning loss?
Yeah. Preston Tucker 5 for 6, 3 homers, 8 runs batted in.
Told Alex Bregman had a home run again tonight.
One hopper. Valbuena stepping on third, throwing to first for a double play to end a shutout. A 5-0 win. Third shutout win for the Astros this season. They have now won 11 of their last 12, and they climbed to 6 games above 500 for the first time at 43-37. Chris Devenski, the 4th pitcher to collaborate on the shutout, with Mike Fiers the winner. Final score 5-0.